Well.
World-class veteran video game critic Michael Does Life. Oh, Michael. Folks at home, the cracks are indeed starting to show. The cracks, folks at home, are indeed starting to show, and it really is, believe me, so incredibly sad. That I know, that I can tell you. It is quite apparent, quite clear, folks at home, that the cracks are starting to show more than ever with the Callisto Protocol, okay? Now, Glenn has paid all of these shills to come over here and tell you that the game is the best thing since sliced bread. Okay, Glenn has paid the shills to come over here and tell you that this is the best game known to mankind. It is going to send 2022 out in a way that makes sense. And I don't want to hate this game. Let's make that very clear, folks at home. I don't want to hate this game, okay? I'm not coming out here, saying this game is total garbage, although it looks like it doesn't bring anything new to the table. We're out here because we care, okay? We're out here because ultimately we want to see the Callisto Protocol succeed, okay? We want to see the Callisto Protocol succeed. We need something to play to essentially carry us to 2023 in a way that makes sense. There's a lot of games releasing in 2023, and this would be a fantastic experience to bring us into 2023, the Callisto Protocol, the last big game of 2022. We want this game to succeed, okay? We want this game to succeed. We want this game to be great. We want Glenn to have his fun in the sun, and we want survival horror games to be put back on the map, folks at home. That's what we're clamoring for. That is ultimately where we stand. But you have so many of these stupid idiots now coming out of the woodwork, and they're like, well, Michael, you hate every game, Michael. You understand me? You're just a hater. Hell, you're just nothing but a fake gamer. Tell your mother I said hi.
Ex-Wrestling Face donated £2 through Super Chat. Jerry Lawler.
Jerry Lawler. How you doing? Hell yeah, by the way, I appreciate that. Wrestling Face, let's get a W in the chat, folks at home. Wrestling Face coming through, popping the cherry. We are less than 1 week away until the Callisto Protocol, okay? Literally less than 1 week away, and we're going to dissect this. We have major talking points here today. And I'm going to tell you something right here, right now. This release is not looking fantastic, okay? I'm not even kidding. It has gotten literally worse over the days, and I'll unveil that very soon, okay, very shortly. But what you need to know and what you need to understand is that these shills don't care. They just don't care, and it's so incredibly sad.
Mr. Sweden donated 20 Swedish krona through Super Chat. Mackle hates video games.
That's not true. That is not true. I can literally name games right now. Silent Hill Shattered Memories, Grand Theft Auto 4, Zombie U on the Wii U. Okay, do you want me to continue? Oh, you're going to sit there and say, who's the game hater now? Who's the game hater now? Because I know what you're going to do. You're going to sit there and flip the table and say, well, those games are trash, Michael. Those games are trash. I don't care if you don't like something that I like, okay? And I don't care if you dislike something that I like. It does not matter at the end of the day. But to sit there and say that I'm a fake gamer, to sit there and say you don't know what you're talking about is just stupid. Why would I waste my time playing these terrible, terrible, terrible games that ultimately bring nothing new to the table, a.k.a. the Callisto Protocol, when I can play something that's actually worthwhile, okay? You're not understanding, and that's okay. Michael's just a hater. Michael hates every game. It's not true. I just named 4 or 5 games right there, 3 or 4 or 5 games that are fantastic. And you could disagree until the cows come home. I don't care. But ultimately, at the end of the day, let me ask you this. How much is Glenn paying you to come over here and shill the Callisto Protocol? How much is Glenn paying you to come over here and shill the Callisto Protocol? Because I'm the only one barking up against this game. I'm the only one saying this isn't where it needs to bring. It's bringing nothing new to the table. It is a dead space dollar store. That's what it is. That's what it is, folks at home. It's a dead space dollar store. And you guys are like, no, this is the most revolutionary horror experience. Guys, A loud noise is not a horror experience. You know, you walk through these tight corridors, squeeze through these spaces, and then all of a sudden, that's not a horror experience. That's not anything scary remotely, okay? That is a startling experience. It's a cheap jump scare. That's what it is. It's a jump scare haunted house simulator. And I'm looking for more than that, okay? And perhaps I'm going to have to continue looking elsewhere. Because you know what? At the end of the day, there's tons of footage of the Callisto Protocol out. It's leaked. And it's everything that I thought it was going to be. Okay? It's everything that I thought it was going to be, which means that the game brings nothing new to the table. And yet you have these stupid idiots coming in here like, oh, but Michael, this is good. Why are we so hyped for this game? I have asked these people time and time again, and they still are reluctant to give me an answer. They have no answer when I ask them what is going on here with the Callisto Protocol in the sense that what is it bringing new to the table? What's one unique gameplay feature, one new mechanic? I don't understand how you could be excited for this when it's not even a survival horror experience, because ultimately you're basically Superman. You're able to dodge every fucking attack, okay? And as such, you have these basic superhuman abilities, and the monsters aren't scary anymore. If you can dodge every attack for the most part that the monster is going to provide, how is that scary? You might as well throw the game out the window and call it an action shooter, because that's essentially what this is. And that's not a surprise. Dead Space was an action shooter. Resident Evil 4 was an action shooter. They're Michael Bay action, video games under the guise of these survival horror experiences. Yeah, you have to manage your ammo and this, that, and the third, but that doesn't mean all that much when you don't have to put your thinking cap on in addition to doing that. If you don't have to put your thinking cap on in these games, then there's no point, okay? There's no point. What has this game brought new to the table? Literally nothing. This game has brought nothing new to the table, and yet we're going to shill it because, well, it's from the creator of Dead Space. Look how that turned out for Back 4 Blood. Look how that turned out for Back 4 Blood. From the creators of Left 4 Dead. Yeah, from the creators of Left 4 Dead, by the way. Yeah, kiss my foot with that slop.
CamMA donated $4.99
Let's get it, CamMA in the building.
Through Super Chat. I wonder how many of those types of guys actually sound like a southern accent and they say, oh, Mackle, you don't know what you're talking
probably
about
not too many.
buddy,
Probably not too many. I don't... Southern people are nice people. Hell yeah, brother, we appreciate that. That's what we're talking about. CamMA coming through really hard and really strong. CamMA is in the building. That's what we're talking about. Make your own game. If it were easy to do that, I would. Okay, if it were easy to do that, if I knew how to do anything in terms of coding, I would already put something together. I have creative ideas, okay, especially for a little haunted house game. But ultimately, I don't know how to assemble it. So, it's easier said than done in that regard. So you can kiss my foot and go back and just, pre-order the Callisto Protocol some more. Continue shilling that on 4chan and continue shilling that on Reddit and continue shilling that on Twitter and continue shilling that on Recent Era and continue shilling that on NeoGAF. Okay? You guys want to sit out here and shill garbage. That's what ultimately, at the end of the day, the Callisto Protocol is presenting. Garbage. Okay? Recycled trash that's already been done before. And you guys are like, oh, I'm so excited. Look, I don't care if you're excited, because at the end of the day, my goal out here is not to say cancel your pre-order. You do you, and if you want to go out and buy another copy just in spite, that's fine with me. Okay, look, ultimately, like I said at the beginning of the show, look, at the end of the day, I want this game to succeed. I want this game to be great, but I have very little reason to believe any of that is going to come to fruition when this game launches on December 2nd, okay? I have very little reason to believe that the Callisto Protocol is going to be fantastic when it launches on December 2nd, which is less than a week away from right now, okay? And let's go through why. Okay, first of all, you guys have heard this before, the Callisto Protocol exclusive animations behind the season pass. Okay, look, I'll pay for quality. I don't care. But ultimately, at the end of the day, this is pretty stupid. Okay, let's just put it that way. It's pretty fucking stupid. You got EA coming out with the Dead Space remake in January. Okay, they're a little quiet on that game right now, which is a little concerning. They might push it back. I don't know. Okay, they might not. Maybe they're waiting for this to blow over, and then ultimately they could swoop in and say, hey, by the way, Dead Space remake, start that advertising campaign as we head into January. Okay, they still got plenty of time, but ultimately at the end of the day, they are quiet right now on the Dead Space remake. But this is almost like an EA tactic right here, to be totally frank. This is something that you would see in regards to the Dead Space remake and not the Callisto Protocol. This was supposed to be, Glenn's masterpiece, Glenn's brainchild, and he's saying, we're going to do all the right things. We're not going to fumble that football. And, you see things like this, and people are saying, well, this is a new area. it makes sense to have exclusive animations. There's new enemies in this new area, and as such, they have new death animations. I get that. I understand that. But ultimately, at the end of the day, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Okay, exclusive death animations, Callisto Protocol behind the season pass. But unfortunately, there's more. Okay? But wait, there's more. So as you can see right here, the Callisto Protocol will use the Denvo DRM. Okay, I'm not big on PC gaming, but nonetheless, that apparently impacts performance just a tad bit. That is the current belief, I believe. And with that said, it will use DRM Denvo on PC. Okay, so I know a lot of PC gamers hate that shit. And this is a single-player game, mind you, so I'm not entirely sure. Well, I guess it's not. I don't know what really it is, but anti-whatever. But it's going to use that on PC, okay? So first of all, exclusive animations behind the paywall, okay? And it gets worse than this. I mean, we're just getting started here. You know what I mean? We're literally just getting started here, and it's so fucking sad. Because, again, I want this game to be great. And I want this game to be fantastic, and I want Dead Space fans to be satisfied because it seems like they don't want to go out and buy the Dead Space remake, which makes no sense. If you're a fan of Dead Space, there's literally no reason to not support the Dead Space remake. Nonetheless, I'm not going to get into that because people get so upset. And then they're going to go out and buy it come January, whatever, when it comes out. So you've got exclusive animations behind the paywall, exclusive animations behind the season pass. Again, not that big of a deal for me. Because if it's quality, that's all that really matters at the end of the day. With that said, the Callisto Protocol Denvo DRM on PC. So, just keep that in mind if you're playing this on PC. And we know that the recommended specs for the Callisto Protocol, 16 gigabytes of RAM. Okay, now, maybe a lot of PC gamers are fine with that, but to me that seems a little extreme. 16 gigabytes of RAM for the Callisto Protocol. And I think a 1070 for the recommended. Okay, a 1070, 16 gigabytes, 8th generation processor, Intel. In my opinion, those are quite high. So that means if you have a 1050 Ti, well, maybe it'll run, but maybe it won't. Who fucking knows? All right, let's get into the next one right here. This is the big one right here, okay? I'm going to full screen this one here, or at least maximize this. This is the big one right here, folks at home, and it really is, believe me, so incredibly sad. So again, let's recap before we get into the big one here. Callisto Protocol exclusive animations behind the season pass, okay? Again, not that big of a deal for me, but it is for some people, so we thought we would bring that up. Okay, this is another issue here. The Denvo DRM impacts performance, not majorly, but apparently it does, and people just don't like it. With that said, this is the big one here, and the major concern as of right now. Less than 1 week until the release of the Callisto Protocol. The Callisto Protocol review embargo does not lift until the game's release, okay? I want you guys to let that sink in. The Callisto Protocol's review embargo does not expire until literally the game releases, okay? There will be no reviews of this until December 2nd. As you can see, the time's on the screen. Okay. Now I know they're gonna rush out and say, "Well, Doom did that, Michael." Well, Doom's trash. Doom is trash. Doom 2016. The new Doom games are garbage. Okay, they're not great. So if you're just gonna rush, and use that excuse and say, "Well," very seldom is a late review embargo good, okay? Look at the Halloween Ends review embargo. Ooh. They put that review embargo in place because they damn well knew that it was going to be very controversial, very opinionated, and I think that's going to be the case here with the Callisto Protocol, okay? So the review embargo is not lifted until the release, which is December 2nd, okay? Well, does that mean, Michael, that it's automatically going to be a bad game? No. But it doesn't automatically mean that. I don't see how you can take away a positive from this, to be totally frank. I'm not really sure how you guys can defend this, but I know these fanboys in here will. I don't understand why there's such a fan base behind this game, because it's a brand new IP, okay? They're literally in love with Glenn. It's like they want to get in bed with Glenn. And that's fine, but ultimately, at the end of the day, I understood the hype for Dying Light 2 because it was established. I understood the hype for Elden Ring because it was established. You know what I mean? It's from software. Sure, it was a new sort of It was a new sort of road for them to go down with Elden Ring, the open world, and this, that, and the third. But ultimately, it was established. We knew what From Software was capable of, and this, that, and the third. So with that said, you know, with all of these games that have come out this year and the hype behind them, it sort of made sense. The hype behind this game literally makes zero sense. Because other than Glenn making Dead Space, the guy's a Call of Duty guy. Look at his resume. He doesn't have much horror. He doesn't have much horror. And again, Dead Space is an action shooter. I played that bitch like 3-4 days ago. It's an action shooter. There's nothing scary about it outside of fucking monsters that pop up on the screen. And if Glenn thinks that's scary, well, I'm glad he has that take. But ultimately, in my opinion, I disagree. Okay? I don't think that's scary. And if that's all they're going to do here in the Callisto Protocol is jump scare after jump scare after jump scare, then we're just going to have to start thinking outside of the box, because that is, to me, very, very boring. So what do we think right now, folks? The Callisto Protocol literally less than 1 week until the release, and everyone's shilling this. And not to mention, they took down my video, okay? They took down my fucking video. It had like 45K views, maybe 50K, can't remember. Nonetheless, it was getting some steam, okay? And with that said, they took down my fucking video. I showed... So it's okay for them to have their gameplay up. You know, this was old gameplay, and they were... I guess Glenn just couldn't take the heat in the kitchen, so he ran out and said, holy shit. You know what I mean? So they took down my video. They literally took down my video. I was literally filming my television screen, and they took it down. I guess they didn't want that to potentially impact sales. Bro, I literally have sold more copies of this game than the actual shills, because people buy shit in spite. They're like, this guy's a piece of shit. He doesn't fit the mold of what I think a human being should look like. You continue to make fun just like you did in high school, okay? These bullies on here. And with that said, they don't want to listen, okay? They don't want to get in bed with world class, okay? They don't want to say, we're on Team Michael, okay? And that's sad, but it is just the way the cookie crumbles. So since I'm easy to dislike, okay, I mean, how many copies of Dying Light 2 did I sell? Literally probably hundreds. I'm not even kidding. People have come to me all the time in the comment section. They say, holy shit, I'm buying this. I'm buying 2 copies just to piss you off. And that's fine. I don't care. You know, if you think that ultimately is going to piss me off, I don't really give a shit. I want this game to succeed, okay? But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's hard to ignore what's on the screen here. Especially that review embargo. That just came out last night. And that means everyone's going to be basically quiet until that day, December 2nd. So that is just a little crazy. I think Sonic Frontiers did the same thing too. I'm pretty sure that Sonic Frontiers, if I remember correctly, the reviews went up. No, never mind. Nope. So this is pretty sad, to be totally frank. Pretty sad, to be totally frank. Well, it was a good video too. I mean, we made a point within 30 seconds, and that's a rare sight on YouTube in 2022, because these other shills want to sit there and just repeat things for 11 hours. And, you know, that's why we do these streams, because we don't make long-form content. So we come out here and we basically have this, you know, and we're able to go for longer. And that's what the streams are for. It's a nice companion piece to the videos, because the videos people want more, and it's like, okay, if you want more, come to the fucking streams. We'll just sit out here and babble for 8 hours straight. I don't give a fuck. But ultimately, at the end of the day, that's where the cookie crumbles. That's where the cookie crumbles. What am I eating? Nothing. But if you want to send a pizza over, I'll give you the address. Make sure you buy the most expensive one. Don't be a cheap ass. You guys are driving Teslas around, I know. You guys are driving Teslas around. All right, let's take a look at the chat here, and let's see how the folks at home are handling this, okay? I know we have a lot of Callisto Protocol shills in here, and it's so sad.
Young Meds donated $2 through Super Chat. Hashtag Team Mackle.
Yeah. How much is EA paying you? How much is Glenn paying you? That's my answer to that question. How much is Glenn paying you? I'm fine with Little Caesars. I'm fine with Little Caesars. What the fuck's going on here? Busy TDR member for 15 months. I don't know why that disappeared like that. Nonetheless, we do appreciate that. Is it not cold where you are at? We're not turning the show into this, okay? We're not turning the show into where Michael reads the chat for 15 way longer than that. We're not doing that. If you guys can't get on page, I need you to get out and substitute yourself with someone who cares, okay? If we don't have the guy that puts the damn thing on V, then we're not going to get people in here that care. I mean, that's just the reality of the situation. I hate to say that, but that's just the reality of the situation. You guys are doomer gloomers out here. You don't give two shits about any of this stuff. I pre-ordered all the new horror keto. Glenn is not paying me. I love gaming. Well, you don't have a great taste. I mean, you do you. I don't care. Okay, but I don't think that this is that this game ultimately is bringing anything new to the table. I mean, look at what's on the fucking screen. Okay, look at what's on the fucking screen. You got paywall. You got DRM. You got fucking review embargo until December 2nd. Like, how can you sit out here and I'm going to start blocking people that just start defending this game. I mean, you're allowed to have an opinion, but not over here. Believe me. Kiss my fucking foot. They fucking took the video down. Like, were they that, like, oh, my God, this is going to get people to cancel their pre-order? Like, no. If anything, it did the opposite. They literally took the fucking video down. And it wasn't like leaked gameplay I was showing. It was gameplay that already existed months ago on YouTube. It's okay for a lot of other people to upload gameplay, but, you know, when World Class does it, it's a big problem. Big problem. He's running his mouth. Oh, Glenn called us and said that video's got to go down. You know, jeez.
Mizzy TDR donated $1.99 through Super Chat. I pre-ordered this on PC and PS4 and I'm excited.
Well, I'm not sure why anyone would want to do that. I don't know why people do things like that. I'm assuming you're trolling, but why would you play this on two platforms? That makes no sense to me. I've never bought a game twice. Unless we were like specifically looking to see how it differs for coverage purposes, but I've never bought a game twice on different platforms. Not sure. They're literally here we go. Doom 2016. I'm tired of hearing about Doom 2016. I literally predicted that a minute ago. I literally predicted that. Doom 2016. What about Doom 2016? The game is trash. Do you think the Columbine shooters would have fucking played that? No, it's trash. Okay? Shut up. Doom 2016 is trash. So is Doom Eternal. Okay? Fuck. It ain't a good game. Deal with it. Fucking Zoomers in here, dude. Doom 2016 had a late review embargo, and that turned out okay. Okay, name one other example. Quit bringing up one game. How often does this really pan out in a positive way? Very seldom. Very seldom. So take your little exception and find another one. Take your little exception. How much is Glenn paying you to come over here and chill?
Waffles donated $1.99 through Super Chat. Brothers, has gaming ever been more dead? It's over. Wheelchair symbol.
It is literally over. Yeah, you can take the wheelchair and shove it up to your grandma's ass. I don't care. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm right and you damn well know it. I don't want to be right. I want to be wrong out here, okay? Look, maybe this game will be a surprise. I don't know. But they're doing all of the wrong things here. They're doing all of the wrong things here, okay?
John C. donated $2 through Super Chat. Callisto is new IP. Dead Space's old PS3 game.
Okay, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. That's bullshit. The Dead Space remake is coming out in January. Dude, they literally took my fucking video down, bro. They strike the fucking video. Because I showed off shitty gameplay, I guess, and, you know, they don't want that to represent the product. Fucking stupid shit, dude. If you support this game, you're everything that's wrong with the industry. You just continue to support slop. I'd rather support the damn Dead Space remake. Because they're not putting shit behind a fucking season pass. Why does this even have a season pass? It's a fucking single-player game. Why does this have a season pass? You know what I mean? How are we defending this crap? I can't believe it. I can't believe it. How are we defending this crap? The review embargo is literally not expiring until December 2nd, the day of release. How are we defending this? If this were any other game, oh, you guys would be, oh, hell yeah, Michael, you're so right, you're so based, you're so this, you're so that, but you guys want to suck Glenn's cock. You want to get on your knees and suck Glenn's cock. Why? I don't understand. He doesn't have the resume to make a great horror game. He made Dead Space, okay? Who cares? Dead Space is an action. It's a Resident Evil 4 ripoff. It was a Resident Evil 4 ripoff, and even Glenn will tell you that. Even Glenn will tell you that. It's a Resident Evil 4 ripoff. The Dead Space remake, it's the same fucking price on PS5 next-gen consoles. You can get it on Steam for $60, but you're going to have those PC requirements. 16 gigabytes of RAM is recommended. And I'm not saying it's not going to run if you don't have 16 gigs, but that's the recommended specs. I don't even know what the hell that even means, but I guess that's just the recommended experience. 1070, 16 gigabytes of RAM, 8th generation Intel processor. So if you don't have any of those things, you might not fit in that recommended category, okay? But on Steam, it's $60. However, on PS5, it's a $70. This is a $70 game on PS5. I don't know where you guys are seeing this for $60, but it is a $70 game on PS5. And I would rather support the damn Dead Space remake, especially at this point if they're going to take down my fucking videos. Because they can't handle it. I sold more copies of this game, and they want to sit there and they want to go, well, shut up,
Waffles
Marco.
donated $1.99 through Super Chat. The masses need their slop, nerd face, clinking beer mugs, alien, Star of David, Star of David, Star of David.
Yeah, they certainly need their slop. They certainly need their slop. I mean, I don't understand why this game has a season pass. I don't understand why this game has a season pass. I don't understand why this game has a season pass. It is literally a single-player game, unless there's like some fucking hidden multiplayer mode in, which would make more sense. Bro, I literally read the recommended specs, okay? If you're going to sit there and say I'm wrong, I don't care. Yeah, so upgrade. Well, then send over the 4090, okay? Send over the 4090. We'll credit you. We'll give you executive producer, give you that big shout-out that you're clamoring for. If you don't want to send it over, kiss my foot. I've got my review code for nothing. I don't know what that means. Not sure what that means. If we can't make... These robots in here can't even string together a fucking sentence. He couldn't handle the heat. He couldn't handle the heat. He ran out of the kitchen and he called whoever's in charge of that shit and said, hey, this video is gaining some traction. We got to get that down. Unreal. You know what I mean? And the gameplay still exists on YouTube, but, I show 3 second. It was literally like a 40-second video, bro. It was like a 40-second video. It wasn't even a fucking minute long. And everyone was like, oh, we're going to buy 2 copies to piss you off. And it's like, whatever, dude. Whatever. Hidden multiplayer mode would be awesome. I don't care. Okay? I don't care. Game Pass is underrated, so I don't care about Game Pass. We're not talking about Game Pass. Why don't you go fuck Phil Spencer? Jesus Christ. You guys are so in love with these people. I think you're in love with the idea of the people more so than the damn product. Literally. I think you're in bed with these egomaniac game devs. That's what you're in bed with. You just want to hear them talk. You don't want to play the game. Let's just admit it deep down. You don't want to play this dead dollar store Dead Space. That's what you don't want to do. You're just in love with Glenn because he looks like John Goodman from fucking Roseanne. You're just in bed with Glenn. No one cares. If you're not going to keep it on track, we're not reading your comment, okay? I don't care about Game Pass. I don't care about Star. I don't care. Okay, that shit isn't happening anytime soon. Kiss my foot and kiss my ass. Okay, at the end of the day, this is what you need to know and understand. The Callisto Protocol has big problems. They're on the fucking screen. If you want to sit there and ignore them, that's fine with me. But when this game gets a 74 on Metacritic, don't sit there and say I didn't tell you so. Let's get it. That's what we're talking about.
Through Super Chat.
Holy shit.
Time to break out the Bruce Wayne box. Mackle, the curtains have not been pulled back in a way that makes sense and Glenn is holding them down with an anchor. Time for these snowy fanboys to wake up and smell the coffee.
Glenn literally took the anchor and threw it my way. He couldn't handle the heat in the damn kitchen. He threw the pot right at my face, okay? They took down the damn video, my 30-second Callisto Protocol video. They were so petrified of it. They're like, oh, hell no. That's going to impact potential pre-orders. We can't have that up. You know what I mean? So incredibly sad. Showed literally off-screen gameplay. Most of it was fucking... whatever. I'm not going to get into it. But if Glenn can't take the heat, that's so incredibly sad. Hell yeah, by the way, appreciate that Tayland coming through. We are out here live, ladies and gentlemen, less than a week away until the Callisto Protocol releases. And I'll tell you what, if I get an early copy, whoo, wouldn't that be something? Because, look, There's still time to get an early copy. If the review embargo is not up until Friday, there is still time to get a review, to get an early copy. We're not going to get a review code. Absolutely not. We're blacklisted. But nonetheless, if we can get an early copy, that would be fantastic. And there might be an opportunity
the Frog
to do that.
donated $2 through Super Chat. This message goes out to my wife. It's over.
Well, is she hot? I mean, that's the big question. Hell yeah, bro. Appreciate that, Kermit, coming through. Glenn couldn't handle the heat. It's so sad. It was literally a 30-second video. It wasn't like a 10-minute video on why this game's trash. It was like a 30-second video.
Tyler Sanquist donated $5 through Super Chat. Have yourself a good day, Michael.
Hell yeah, bro. Appreciate that, Tyler, coming through. That's what we're talking about. Well, we're not having a good day because you know what? Ultimately, at the end of the day, this has pissed me off beyond belief. I'd rather buy 2 copies now of the Dead Space remake because EA's not fucking around with that. Okay, there's no season pass. Okay, let's just flip the script. If EA did all of this, let's pretend this is the Dead Space remake. Let's pretend that the Dead Space remake review embargo doesn't lift until the release. Let's pretend that the Dead Space remake has a season pass. Let's pretend that the Dead Space remake has Dunvo DRM. Oh, yeah, you guys would be hating like no fucking tomorrow. But when Glenn does it, it's time to get the fucking spandex out and slap your ass and say, fuck me, Glenn, because that's what you guys want to do. And it's so fucking sad. I don't understand why we're shilling the Callisto Protocol. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. It is a Dead Space dollar store edition, and you guys want to shill it. Shill it, shill it, shill it. Consume, consume, consume. You know, I'm going to make some merch, and I'm going to charge $50 for one shirt, and it's going to say fucking consume on it. Because that's what you guys love to do. Sit there and consume slop. Because Glenn told you what you wanted to hear. Glenn told you what you wanted to hear. It's so fucking sad. So in love with Glenn. Oh, he made Dead Space. Who cares? He didn't make Dead Space 2. He didn't contribute to Dead Space 3. He didn't contribute to Dead Space hardly. Oh, he created it. Who fucking cares? He left. Or he got fired. I don't know the fucking story. Probably one of those things. Probably didn't pay him enough or he didn't get enough creative control, so he said, I'm going to go do Call of Duty or some shit. And you guys are in love. Like, it's a Call of Duty guy trying to make a fucking horror game. No shit, it's going to have jump scares all throughout, nothing more, because that's all he knows to do. There's nothing here in this game.
Bobby Bandit Gaming donated $19.99 through Super Chat. McKeel, you have always been right, especially about God of Snooze.
Oh, God. I can't. These games have turned. The marvelization of video games is sad. It has happened already. The marvelization. I'm not just talking specifically about God of War, but it has happened for about 6 years now. The marvelization of video games has been just so sad to see. Bobby Bandit Gaming coming through really hard and really strong. Hell yeah, brother, we appreciate that. Bobby Bandit Gaming coming through really hard and really strong with the Bruce Wayne Bucks. Right up there with Taylan. You're not going to buy the game, so don't sit there and say you are. Don't sit there and say you are. Don't sit there and say you are. You're not going to buy the game. Don't pretend like you're going to buy it. EA's doing remakes? Well, EA's doing the remake because they don't like Glenn. That's the entire point, I'm pretty sure, why Glenn made this game. It's a big fuck you to EA. Because there was obviously a fallout there. I don't know the fucking story. I'm assuming there was. And, you know, he just made a Dead Space dollar store edition. He obviously couldn't call it Dead Space or use because that's EA shit. But with that said, he makes the dollar store Dead Space edition and regurgitates. We're literally getting 2 Dead Space remakes, okay? The Callisto Protocol is basically the pure version of Dead Space because, well, EA execs stepped in and they said, you can't do that. You know, it's the same old narrative with everything. So you're getting 2 Dead Spaces within 1 month of each other. You're getting the Callisto Protocol, which is the true, pure Dead Space, and then you're getting the official Dead Space remake by EA that is only on next gen and for the fucking same price on PS5. So you tell me which one would you rather buy? You tell me which one would you rather buy? I'll buy it just to see. That's not how it works. Why are you buying this? Look at what's on the screen. EA is literally doing better than what this is. This is bad. This is bad, and you guys want to support it. This is why the industry's in the shape that it's in. This is why the industry's in the shape that it's in. Tailhead coming through again.
I'm going to be like Billy Mays and party like it's $19.99 when these Snowy fanboys realize Glenn has conned them. All Glenn knows how to do is rehash, and he's surrounded by
Exactly. He's brought nothing new to the table. I'd love to support the Callisto Protocol. I'd love to sit out here and say, holy shit, this game is just blowing me away. But it is a rehash. It's a dollar store Dead Space. It's the same fucking game. I've seen the leaked gameplay, and I'm sure you can watch it right here on YouTube before they take that shit down. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it is a dollar store Dead Space edition. That's what it is. It's a rehash of nothing, of old ideas, and bringing nothing new to the table in the same way, shape, and form. And then gamers complain about Dead Space being remade. That's literally what this is. They've remade Dead Space here. Glenn remade Dead Space and did the initial version or the initial idea of, the pure director's cut edition. That's basically what this fucking is. It's Dead Space remade. But he can't call it Dead Space because that's just the way the cookie crumbles. EA owns that. Tailhead coming through again. Hell yeah, brother. We appreciate that. We are out here live, ladies and gentlemen. It is over. It is literally over. You guys are not listening. Look at the review embargo. Shillup can't get his review out early because guess what? It comes out the day of release. So we might actually be able to get an early copy of this game, maybe complete it before the review embargo lifts, and we'll have a review for you.
So our hearts donated $1.99 through Super Chat. Glenn wants to take you out back and knock you
look,
out.
I'll tell you what, if Glenn wants to go 12 rounds in that boxing ring, no problem. I'll put the gloves on right now, okay? Glenn doesn't know what he's talking about, okay? He just knows how to make jump scares. How is that scary? You guys play the original Dead Space and you're scared of that? It's just a bunch of jump scares. The same old creature coming at you over and over and over again. It's not a good game, especially in 2022. That's why it needs to be fucking remade. Because I just played it like 3 or 4 days ago. It runs like trash on Series X, not even a 60 frames boost. But in addition to that, it's just you fighting the same old monster over and over and over again with jump scares all throughout. It's a haunted house simulator. They literally have flickering lights, okay? They have strobe lights in Dead Space. I mean, it is literally a haunted house game. You know what I mean? They literally have, and it's so sad. You're in bed with EA? Well, I'd rather be in bed with EA. Why would I want to be in bed with Glenn? Look at this shit. This is a single-player game. This is supposed to be that based game like, oh, yeah, Glenn's back and he's doing horror again. Well, that's great. But what did he bring new to the table? Nothing. And then in addition to this, you're just seeing this crap. Oh, look at this. Look at what's on the screen, folks. Jesus Lord. How can you defend this? Like I said, if the tables were turned, if this were EA doing this with the Dead Space remake, oh, God. You know what I mean? It would just be a total disaster, wouldn't it? It'd be a total disaster, but it's okay for the Callisto Protocol to just have DRM, Season Pass exclusive content that probably should have been in the game from the get-go. Why does it even have a Season Pass? You know what I mean? Why can't they just make one great game and let that speak for itself? Why does it have to have this evolving content to extend the shelf life? It's all about that post-release content roadmap for every fucking game. Why does DLC even exist? Why does DLC even exist? Just make a great game that's memorable and people will fucking buy the sequel. You know, why does DLC even exist for any game? We don't need DLC. Look at The Last of Us Part 2. There's no fucking DLC for that. It's a one and done, baby. It's a one and done, and it was memorable enough for that to just be exclusive, that exclusive experience that didn't need more. Now, I'm sure down the road they will probably continue the narrative, but nonetheless, there's no DLC for The Last of Us Part 2 because that hit that fucking home run. It wasn't unmemorable enough to say, hey, we want more. It was like, okay. So basically what's happening here is they're remaking the game twice. I mean, if the season pass is that damn good, that must be the real game. Maybe they're not confident in the real game, the base game. Maybe they know the base game, which is why this explains the review embargo being this way. They know the base game is probably going to be mid, and maybe they're going to expand upon some of that in the DLC. Just basically remake the whole game. If it's an all-new location and all-new enemies, I don't know if it is, but if there's all-new stuff in that DLC, they're basically just remaking the fucking game again. You know what I mean? DLC gives you more content, but we don't need more content. Quality over quantity. You need to start taking classes in game development. Jesus Christ. I'm going to go to a video game school, and I'm going to get opinions from those who are learning the craft. And I'll tell you what, if they think like you guys do, holy fuck, this industry's dead. Make a game that people care about, okay? Make a game that people care about. Quality over quantity. That's how you do it. You don't need Why is there a season pass for this game, dude? You guys can't answer that. Oh, we just want more content. We want more content. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. You want more content? You haven't even played the fucking game. Well, Elden Ring is getting DLC because there's no game there. It's just a tech demo. Really, when you break it down, there's no story in Elden Ring. You got to go on YouTube to watch these 40-minute video essays to learn about this boss and the lore. Okay, there's no story in these games. So what that means is that you basically are playing this tech demo that these Japanese animators figured out, back in 2009, and they haven't changed it since. And everyone's saying game of the year, game of the generation, game of this. It's trash. It's not great. It's not great. Michael is a remake shill. It's the same price, dude. It's the same price. They're both $70. EA is doing everything right. There's no microtransactions in Dead Space
Fable
Remake.
Punisher donated $1.99.
And even if there is, I'll support EA.
RDR2, TLOU2, Ragnarok,
Exactly. Well,
DGA4 equals true 10/10ths.
Yeah, all of those games don't have DLC. And that's the thing, too, with the Red Dead talk, the Red Dead conversation. Why does Red Dead need to be more? Why can't we be content with what was delivered? I don't understand. These entitled gamers want more and more and more. They're like a 5-year-old at Toys R Us. Mama! I want the Power Rangers toy! Mama! I want the Power Rangers toy! Mama! I want the Power Rangers toy! Mama! Mama! I want the Power Rangers toy! Mama! Mama! I want the Power Rangers toy! Mama! Shut up! They don't want to listen. They don't want to listen. It's so sad. They want more and more and more. It's just, they're entitled. They are literally entitled. If you're not content with Red Dead Redemption 2, you're not a real gamer. Period. End of story. Doesn't need an update. Doesn't need better graphics. Doesn't need better anything. Okay? If you're not content with Red Dead Redemption 2 in its current format, you're not a real gamer, okay? You want to start talking about fake gamer? Huh. That's the whole damn internet. Fake gamer. Okay, if you're on the internet, you're on a device that gets you to the internet. Therefore, you're not playing games, okay? When you really have to break it down like that for some simpletons in here. If you're on 4chan, if you're on Reddit, if you're on Reset Era, if you're on NeoGAF, if you're in my YouTube chat, you're not a real gamer because you're on fucking some device that is taking you to YouTube, that is taking you to Reset Era, that is taking you to Twitter, okay? You're not on the game controller because you're on a device that's taking you to the internet. So therefore, you're literally not playing a video game because you're on something that is not a video game. Okay? So we just exposed all of these fake gamers because you know what? At the end of the day, when you break it down in that way, I didn't say Red Dead 2 is perfect. I literally have someone in here is spamming. I literally have videos on Red Dead Redemption 2 from 2018. And we said this is not where it needs to be, okay? So I'm not a Red Dead 2 shill, but I can see that Red Dead 2 at least tried to provide quality, and in a lot of cases it made that, it hit that home run, but in some cases it didn't. So I don't know what you want me to tell you. Dude, it can't be true. Dude, just get your head out of your fucking ass and member up. Okay? You love me so damn much, you're in here whining all day. Cry more. You're like the fucking kid in Toys R Us again. Oh, Michael, this stream was trash. Oh, Michael. Well, you need to validate your fucking small cock. That's why she doesn't love. She ain't fucking you. It's too small, she said. Red Dead Redemption 2 is trash too. How do we fix the entitled incel gamer problem? Well, I don't know. You don't, because they don't play games. The people that are complaining about Pokemon don't play video games. Period, end of story. The people that consume games like Pokemon, they don't give a shit about the windmill running at 5 frames because Digital Foundry pointed it out. No one cares. They don't play video games, period, end of story. You have to start understanding that there is a culture that likes to talk about video games, and that is a separate reality from those who consume the actual video games. So being social about games is different than actually playing them, okay? It's like going out to the bar and drinking all day as opposed to going to a fancy Italian restaurant and having a slip of wine, okay? It's a different thing. And that's the same way with these fucking gamers. If you're busy all day on fucking all these forums and all these sites talking about games, tweeting about games, you ain't a fucking gamer. That's fake gamer shit. That's fake gamer shit. If you're not on the fucking controller, if you're not on the keyboard and mouse playing the damn game with the software, the executable launched, then you can kiss my foot with that true gamer shit because your ass is a fake gamer. Okay? But you're not understanding, literally, the people that buy Pokemon do not give a shit about the resolution or frame rate that it's in. They don't care if it's blurry. They don't care if it runs at 15 frames. That is not the target audience. Are you stupid? Are you stupid? I will defend Pokemon because no one cares. If I bought Pokemon, if I buy any game on Switch, I don't give a shit about performance because I already know going in that the goddamn thing is underperforming. It's a mobile computer from 2013 with 2013 hardware, essentially, right? Like, yeah, it ain't going to get you too fucking far. Then why did you quit the Blair Witch last night? Because I wanted to. Kiss my ass, dude. Nice alt. Respect Glenn. Well, if he had a great product, I mean, look, he's telling you what you want to hear, but you can't sit there and defend this shit. It's got Dunvo DRM, review embargo isn't out until fucking the game release, exclusive animations, not to mention animations, but the hard difficulties behind the damn season pass as well. They put the hard difficulty behind the season pass as well, and I'm going to bring that up right here and right now. Callisto Protocol season pass. It seems like that's the real game. The base game doesn't even exist. Callisto Protocol Season Pass. Callisto Protocol Season Pass. IGN. No, I want what's in the damn Season Pass. Oh, God. Just show me what's included, please, for the love of God. Here we go. You get skin collections and contagion mode, okay? The whole damn game is in the Season Pass. They want you to buy the Season fucking Pass. Okay, let's go to the Steam page. Taking 20 years to get to the goddamn actual raw data here. And we're going to the Steam page here. Put the birth date in. The Season Pass is the real game, quite clearly. I'm not even kidding. And it's sad. It's so fucking sad. Let's look at the Season Pass here, right here. Where do we find the Season Pass? Jeez, it's so hard to actually even... Well, if I wanted to buy it, fuck. How do I see where's the Season Pass at? Deluxe Edition. Just take me to the Deluxe Edition. Digital Deluxe Edition. Here we go. Read more. The Season Pass includes, okay, we're going to just put this on the screen right here. The Season Pass includes, we're going to put this on the screen right here. Okay, we're going to put this on the screen right here. Let's go to the Season Pass. Okay, the Season Pass includes Outer Way Skin Collection. Okay, you get some new skins. Fair enough. Contagion Bundle. Discover the ultimate survival horror experience with a new mode, Contagion, with reduced ammo and health drops, a customized difficulty, and permadeath. There are no... Okay. If we're defending this game at this point, then just shut it all down. I'm going to start deleting people in here that like this game. I can't handle it. If you want to be this like fucking martyr of, oh, you know, we're here to expose the games industry, we're here to fucking tell it like it is, but defend this shit, you're a fucking hypocrite. That's what you are. You're a fucking hypocrite, man. This is fucking sad. Dude, Naughty Dog gave that fucking shit away for free with an update for Last of Us. You know what I mean? Permadeath came for The Last of Us Part 2. This is sad. This is all on the season pass. I can't even get this shit off the screen. Okay, so you're getting the hard difficulty. You're getting the hard difficulty behind the paywall. You're getting the skin collection behind the paywall. The Riot Bundle. Venture into a previously undiscovered area and battle through waves of brutal enemies. Okay? So you're getting an all-new area. You're getting... Oh, God. Why would Glenn say yes to this? I don't understand. You know, I'm just not understanding it, to be totally frank, and it's so sad. Oh, God. They put a super hard difficulty behind the season pass. Think about that. Naughty Dog's like, here's the update. Here's the permadeath mode. Right there in that update, you know? Now, if EA did this, let's cancel the Dead Space remake. But when Glenn does it, it's not a problem. When Glenn does it, it's not a problem. Now, maybe this is out of his control, okay? Probably is. It probably is out of his control. The publisher really likes to, you know, make these maneuvers. But with that said, it is so sad because if this game is great, and it could be, okay? I'm not saying this game, you know, is destined to fail. It's set in stone. But right now, it's not looking good. Let's just be honest. Right now, it's not looking good, okay? There are no reviews until December 2nd. How can you defend that? Oh, Doom 2016, Doom 2016. I'm tired of hearing about that shit. No one cares about Doom 2016, okay? It's not Doom. That's not Doom. It's garbage is what it is. Doom 2016 is trash. Doom Eternal is trash. They're all trash games, okay? If I had 2 copies right now of both those games, I'd throw them in the trash. It's garbage. It's garbage. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The real game's behind the season pass. The real game's behind the fucking season pass. The real game is quite clearly behind the season pass. What they delivered in the base game is a mid-fucking product, quite clearly, which, you know, they took down my fucking video. They took down my 30-second video that had 50K views. They took it down because, you know, Glenn couldn't handle it. Ran out of the kitchen. Okay, well, whatever. But with that said, they are taking down any videos, I guess, until the review embargo expires. And it's not like I showed leaked gameplay. I showed gameplay that's been, you know, available for fucking months. But couldn't have that on the screen. So I can't. If you're going to defend... Okay, so when this game gets a lower score of like 76, maybe 80 on Metacritic, are you going to say it's a total failure? Are you going to say it's a total failure? Just admit it, you grew out of gaming? Banned! Hide user. You're done. Get him out. Banned. Tired of seeing you. So annoying. Every time I glance at the chat, I see that stupid avatar. Get him out. Done. Who's fucking next? I'm tired of seeing the same old people in here chat, okay? There's 325 fucking people in here right now, okay? We need new people in here saying, yes, Michael, you are right. Because you damn well know that I am, and it hates me to say that. I don't want to be right about the Callisto Protocol, okay? I want this game to be fucking great. Why would I want to come out here and hate? That makes no sense. That makes no sense. But you can't tell me that there's much confidence in this product, and a lot of the confidence is in a game that doesn't even exist. The season pass doesn't exist because Glenn told you that the animations were not pulled from the base game because they have yet to make them. So the real game is behind that season pass, or at least the better game is seemingly behind that season pass. Which, I mean, that's fine with me if it's quality, sure. But there's no point to buy the base game then. They're literally, Glenn is literally paying these people to come over and chill. Glenn is literally paying people to come over here and chill. Don't tell me how to run my show. That's going to get you banned. Don't tell me how to run my show. That's going to get you banned. Say it again. You're done. Get him out. The game is not out yet. Okay, but you can't sit there and shill it. Okay, so how? So what? It makes no sense. You want to sit out here and say, well, Michael hasn't played the game. How can he talk negative of it? How can he say this about it when he hasn't played it? How can you do the same? It's okay for you to fucking shill this game. It's okay for you to be 100% positive about this game, but you haven't played it either? Okay, so how does that make you right and make me wrong? Because that makes zero fucking sense. That makes zero fucking sense. You want to sit out here and you're going to go, oh, Michael, I haven't played it, but I have faith in this. Well, it's great to have faith, okay? But ultimately, at the end of the day, you're in the same boat as I'm in. We both haven't played it, and that needs to be acknowledged, okay? But if I can get this early, I have an opportunity, a window there, because this review embargo is not up until Friday the 2nd, okay? December 2nd, December 1st. Hold on here. December 1st, 2022 at 10 p.m. Boy, I just saw that for the first time. But that is when the game releases. December 1st, 10 p.m. Pacific. That's after the game releases. Hold on. I am confused. I don't know how to do time zone math. But nonetheless, the point is on the screen. There's tons of gameplay on YouTube. Well, the problem with the game for me is that when you essentially have these superhero powers and you can dodge every fucking enemy, monster that's on the screen, how is that scary? Because now you're basically resorting to jump scares. That's what you're essentially doing. You're essentially resorting to jump scare. And you're doing nothing more than that. I can give Glenn 5 ideas right now for free, Glenn, okay? You don't even have to bring me on as a creative ambassador. Because you know what? At the end of the day, Glenn, just give me a phone call. I'll help you, okay, with Callisto Protocol 2. Or that DLC that's apparently yet to be made. So you know what? At the end of the day, Glenn, if you need some help in terms of actually crafting a survival horror experience that's actually worthwhile, just give World Class a call. I mean, it's not that hard.
Section Luvic donated $2 through Super Chat. If you buy the game, you're a shill.
Well, I mean, I don't understand why you would support this. I mean, look, maybe this is out of Glenn's control. It probably is. There's, it's like the movie business, bro. The creatives create, and they're very passionate. Some of them are anyway. They're very passionate about what they do. Some of them aren't. Some of them just, it's another gig, okay? And here's the thing: you don't have to be passionate in this world, in anything that you do, it doesn't matter if you're passionate or not. If you're good at what you do, it doesn't matter if you're passionate. Do you know how many teachers teach and they hate their fucking job, but they're good at it? There's too many. There's too many. There's so many teachers that teach because maybe at one point they loved it, but they lost passion, and as such, now they're going through the motions, but they're still good at what they do, They're still good at what they do. So at the end of the day, the creatives create, and, the publisher's probably coming in and saying, hey, we need this post-release content map. We need this coming this way. The review embargo, they're striking videos. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, bro. You guys are literally complaining about every other game. Oh, Call of Duty's trash. Oh, Madden is trash. All of the, I can see the same 5 people in here. Okay, so with that said, you guys are bitching about all these fucking games. Oh, this game's trash. It's doing nothing new. This game is the same old game for 6 years. Okay, but then all of a sudden the Callisto Protocol comes along and it's like, holy fuck, it's a new wave. It's a new iteration. No. Honey, you're mixed up. Okay, you're mixed up. This dude got fat. I don't know what that means. What a bizarre take. We want to believe. Well, I want to believe too, but I'm not a young gamer anymore, so I have lost faith in this industry. I'm not going to sit around and wait 5 to 10 years just for one good game to come out. That's ridiculous. Callisto Protocol is a game for the players. Yeah, I bet it fucking is. Dude, if EA, I'm just going to say this over and over and over again because you guys aren't listening. If EA did this, let's turn the tables here and let's pretend like we're talking about the Dead Space remake. Okay, if EA did this, oh my God, you'd have a million. You know, where are the Young Yav videos for this? Did Young Yav make a video on this? Because if he didn't, he's a shill. Because I thought that was his gimmick to make fucking videos on. No, he's too busy covering Pokemon. He's too busy covering Pokemon. No videos on the Callisto Protocol. He's in bed. He's in bed. He's in bed with Glenn, quite clearly. Where are the videos on the season pass for the Callisto Protocol? Where's that drama? Oh, yeah, he doesn't want to cover that because he's too busy fucking milking that Nintendo cow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. He's in bed with Glenn. All these creators are in bed with Glenn. They got a review code. They can't talk shit about it. They can't talk shit about it because they're in bed with fucking Glenn. They got a review code. Just like they were with Cyberpunk. Right up fucking Miyazinski's ass or whatever the hell his name is. Martin Siazinski. I swear. Glenn's going to send him with that Callisto Protocol gamer chair, and they're going to be like, holy shit, the game of the generation. We love it. I recommend the Callisto Protocol from Chill Up. This game is amazing. And let me tell you why. But first, a word from our sponsor, NordVPN. Oh, Jesus Christ. Ain't nobody got time for that. All these shills. All these shows. But here's the thing. Young Yad be coming flying out of the woodwork if this were the Dead Space remake. If this were the Dead Space remake, he'd make 6 videos on this shit. He'd make 6 videos on this shit. Oh, the Callisto Protocol review embargo's not up until the day of release. Oh, the goddamn thing has DRM dunfo. Oh my God, that's going to impact performance by 15%. Oh my God, the season pass has so many exclusive modes. Oh my God, EA is just sucking you dry. Well, I like them to suck me dry. Jesus Lord, man. The hypocrisy of these like, hey man, we're here to tell it like it is. Yeah, only when it fucking fits them. If it goes against their narrative, they ain't talking about it. Where's Young Yao on this shit? Nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. He's in bed with Glenn. Unreal. Unreal. Well, you guys are buying it for Glenn. That's what you're doing. No, you take a breather, you stupid idiot. You take a breather. Okay? You guys aren't listening. You guys aren't listening, and it's so sad. I'm buying it for concept and creature designs. Well, that's fair enough. I'm not saying don't buy the game. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it, but that's just my take. I don't care what you do ultimately at the end of the day. It's up to you. You know, you're going to have to make that decision, but you're not going to get any reviews until basically the game comes out, so good luck with that. You're not going to get any official reviews until the game comes out, so good luck with that. $70 game on PS5. $70 game on PS5. The season pass is where the content is actually at, seemingly. And with that said, you got Dunvo DRM. You got no reviews until the game releases. Not sure how we can get excited about this game at this point. And they know that's on top of the game actually looking mid to begin with. That's on top of the game actually looking mid to begin with. But okay, you know, let's just sit there and say, oh, Dead Space didn't need to be remade, but your ass is going to be there day one in line at GameStop to buy that Dead Space remake on January 2023. Well, you don't understand the show. I don't care what people do. If they buy it, great. If they don't, they don't. It's not going to, you know. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it. Not at this point. There's no reason to. Not unless it's on a sale. No, if it were like $40 off already or some shit, then, you know,
Bobby
maybe.
Bandit Gaming
Not for 70, you're crazy.
$4.99
Let's get a Bobby Bandit Gaming coming through.
Super chat. What happened between you and Dan?
Well, he told me he didn't love me. I'd rather play Dead Space, just say. That's what I'm talking about. The Dead Space remake coming through. If EA pulled the stunt, Young Yeah would be posting 10 videos. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But clearly he's got a review code playing it right now, and they told him to shut your mouth. Basically. Going to be borrowing it from a friend. I mean, if this were on Game Pass day one, I think this would have been a fantastic title. I think if the Callisto Protocol came through, if the Callisto Protocol came through and we're on Game Pass day one, I'd cut this bitch some slack. Okay, if this were coming to Game Pass day one, I'd cut this game some slack, but it isn't coming to Game Pass day one. It's a $70 title on PS5, not sure about Series X, but with that said, it's a $70 title, okay? So if I can't keep doing this. I can't keep doing this. If you guys aren't going to listen, I'm ending the show. It's that simple, okay? We'll make a digestible video so that you can easily understand what we're saying. Because I just can't come out here and sit out here and repeat this for 3 hours straight, guys. If you're not going to listen and kiss Glenn's ass day in and day out, then I don't know what to tell you, okay? Just get your ass on your knees and just ready to get puckered up, and Glenn's going to scoot his butt in your face. Because that's what you want. That's what you want. Ultimately, at the end of the day, that's what you want. Oh, but Michael, I'm buying this game for the creatures and the designs, and it's like, why are you supporting this? You're literally supporting everything that's wrong with the industry. You're literally oh, Michael, I don't support Michael, fuck CD Projekt Red, fuck those fuckers. CD Projekt Red, fuck them. Fuck CD Projekt Red, fuck CD Projekt Red. Fuck CD Projekt Red. Hey, they gave you Panam's ass in 4K. The fuck? Who cares if the game was trash? You know, it was actually. I'm glad Cyberpunk came out the way it did because it actually made for the goddamn entertainment. Imagine if Cyberpunk came out non-broken, the most mid fucking game that's ever existed. A looter shooter. Wow. Who wants to play another looter shooter? And then you got these stupid Netflix normies coming out of the woodwork. Oh, we're on Netflix. Holy shit, Edge Runners. Edge Runners is Kino. What does Kino mean? It means have sex. That's what it means. Type it in. Define Kino. It means sex. I don't know what you guys are even talking about when you say that shit. What the fuck's that even mean? But you sit there and you go, oh, Netflix, Edge Runners. Oh, shit, let's jump back into Cyberpunk. Wow, they actually improved it. No, they fucking didn't. It's trash. They fucking didn't. It's trash. Yeah, saliva right in your mother's ass. The fucking real out here. I'm done with these fake gamers. Okay, you want to start talking about fake gamers in here? I mean, Jesus. They didn't do anything to the game. How did CD Projekt Red redeem themselves? What a stupid idiot. They did nothing to the game. Well, why don't you cope and seethe? Why don't you cope and seethe? They did nothing to the game. They did nothing to the game. They added basic features. It took them a year and a half to add in car AI. And you're going to defend that? The game literally had zero car AI, bro. Do you understand? The game literally had zero car AI. It took them to patch 1.5 to add in car AI. To add car AI. Patch 1.5 to add car AI. Are we really defending that? To add car AI patch 1.5? Who the fuck would defend that? Car AI patch 1.5, which, by the way, patch 1.5 came out earlier this year. Patch 1.5, we actually added car AI. You want to defend that, then get on your knees and get ready to suck. I'm done with these idiots in here. I'm done with these idiots in here. I'm done. I don't care about your fake imaginary girlfriend, bro. You're on Pornhub all fucking day and night, jacking off. You don't have no girlfriend if you're watching this show. And if you do, it's probably a man. Which might be better. It doesn't matter if they came a long way. It wasn't a live service. If you go out and buy Cyberpunk right now and don't update the game, guess what version you're getting? The shittiest version possible. I'm not going to... The game does not... It is a digital-only game. Cyberpunk does not exist in a physical format. The version of Cyberpunk you love so damn much and how they redeem themselves and all this, that, and the third, that game doesn't exist on the store shelves. There is not a physical entity of that game that exists. There's not a physical entity of that game that exists. It's digital-only DRM trash. Where the fuck's this update at? So if you're a disc owner, and I know that's boomer talk, but if you're a disc owner, guess what? You ain't playing that version because it doesn't exist. Unless you get your ass on the internet, internet required. But let's bitch about Battlefield 2042 because the devs had a different vision for Battlefield. Oh, it doesn't have a server browser, Michael. No one cares. If the Battlefield devs go to the fans and ask the fans what makes Battlefield great, the franchise will literally collapse in real time. You thought it was bad with the release of Battlefield 2042. At least it had a fucking vision of doing something a little bit different. Oh, no, Michael, it was actually objectively bad. It was actually objectively bad, Michael. It was missing core features and core mechanics of the Battlefield experience. How the fuck could you defend that, Michael? Well, I can defend it because I stuck my fucking cock up someone's ass one time, and I'll tell you what, it was actually fantastic. Exactly. I read the comment. Exactly. I played it day one on PS4. I know how bad it was. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't know how bad it. Did you play it off the disc? Because very few people did that. I'm serious. If you were to look at the raw data, believe me, very few people played the disc version of Cyberpunk 2077. We're talking 1.00, okay? We're talking 1.00. They literally sealed it off, bro. They literally sealed it off on old-gen consoles. And I get it, you know. It was bad timing. But you know what? At the end of the day, it is the way the cookie crumbles. What happened to this industry? That's what we're talking about, bro. You guys were so on board with Glenn being the savior, the fucking messiah of video games. Like, oh my God, Glenn's back. He's done with Call of Duty. He's back. He's here with Callisto Protocol. He's doing the Dead Space that he always wanted to do. He's saying the big fuck you to EA. It's like, yeah, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. It had sort of that thing going behind it, you know. We could root for Glenn because Glenn was like, oh, he's making his own fucking studio, he's doing his own thing, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, we come to the reality here, less than 1 week until the release of the Callisto Protocol, and you guys are defending this. You are defending this. You are defending this. Lame. 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 This is a live service game. It's already on patch 1.02. They just updated the Callisto Protocol. Unreal. Unreal. It's unreal. I hope you guys are trolling because if you're seriously defending this, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not saying you can't like this game, okay? Look, if you come away and you think it's great, that's fantastic. That's your take. That's your experience. That's your opinion. You're entitled to it. That's fucking fair. But don't sit there and pretend like, well, you know, Michael, I think the industry is collapsing and here's why, and then all of a sudden go and support this. Because it makes zero sense. Makes zero sense. Then who's in here defending this? You're thinking that I'm reading imaginary comments? I'm seeing the people defending this. I'm seeing the people defend this. Why does this game have a season pass? Does the Resident Evil 4 remake have a season pass? No, not that we know of. Did Resident Evil Village have a season pass? No. Why does this need a season pass? Why does there always have to be more content? But why does there... I'm glad GTA 5 didn't have story content. We didn't need it. Oh, fuck Rockstar. Fuck Rockstar. Fuck Rockstar. We didn't need it. Wasn't needed. We didn't need it. Not everything has to have DLC, bro. Not everything has to have DLC. These entitled gamers want more. Oh, Red Dead 2 is trash. Red Dead 2 is trash. Rockstar neglected their game. No, they put the game out, And it's one of the most iconic games in the last 4 or 5 years. Okay. Why did it need more? Why did it need more? Random commenter coming through. There it is right there.
Random commenter 10 donated 5 Australian dollars through Super Chat. Callisto Protocol is gonna suck so hard with that trash DRM and season pass. It's over, shut it down.
It just seemed, look, I could see for the sequel or something, or maybe announcing this after the fact. And I get it, a lot of this is out of their control, the creative's control. But with that said, it sucks because even if there is a good game here, it's being sort of tainted here. But I'm the one bringing it up, I guess, so I don't know. Hell yeah, bro, appreciate that random commenter coming through with the 5. Felico, member for 8 months, that's what we're talking about. Like the game, not the season pass. I can't ignore the season pass when the goddamn game's behind the season pass. They have like 16 new death animations behind the season pass. They have an all-new area behind the season pass. They have a whole new fucking difficulty mode behind the season pass. Like, what are we doing? The leaked gameplay did look very good. Story seems solid. Yeah, for a Game Pass game, this is the definition of mid. This is the definition of mid. This is the definition. What's DRM? Can't wait to see your launch face after the game. Well, I mean, this could go either way. I mean, if you have shills in bed with Glenn right now, then they're gonna shill it. But it also might go in the opposite direction. Okay, who's defending it? Well, look in the chat. You got people writing paragraphs in here. Then why does it matter? Then why does it matter? Then why does it matter? Why does it matter? Okay, and let me ask you this: have we seen this game running on old gen consoles? I have not seen any gameplay. Even the leaked gameplay was on PS5. The leaked gameplay that I saw. The leaked gameplay that I saw was running on PS5. So, I mean, there might be footage out there. I don't know. But I have not seen this game running on PS4. And, that, look, you could argue, oh, it's been 2 years, and it has. But, it's still kind of tricky to find a PS5. Can I go to the store right now and buy a PS5? The answer is no. Hell no. Okay? They're sold out again, especially. If they were in stock, they're definitely fucking sold out. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're in stock somewhere. But nonetheless, it's still pretty tricky to find a PS5. So a lot of people are still stuck with that fucking PS4. And as such, there's no gameplay for the Callisto Protocol on those consoles that I have seen, unless you guys want to link it up. It doesn't matter. The real game is behind the season pass. Look at how hype up you guys are not listening. You guys are not listening. I mean, look at the PC specs. It says SSD recommended. You need a what? 1070. Okay, these are the recommended specs. Obviously, you don't. I mean, we don't know yet. We don't know yet until the PC nerds get their hands on this thing. But with that said, it seems like you have to have a pretty decent rig, 16 gigabytes of RAM for the recommended specs for the Callisto Protocol. 16 gigabytes of RAM. 1070, 8th generation Intel processor. That's pretty, I mean, most people don't have a 1070. The most popular card is what, a 1060, I believe. You can look it up on Steam. It doesn't matter because you know what? At the end of the day, if Cyberpunk came out in a state that wasn't broken, if Cyberpunk came out in a normal state, the game would have been even worse. Literally, the most entertaining part of Cyberpunk is the fact that it is broken because you start to, when it's actually running correctly, you start to see how fucking mid it is. And it's just another looter shooter in this empty, dead, lifeless world. And it has, cool characters, Judy, Jackie, the Jackie opening was cool. You go to the funeral. That was, it's a story-driven experience. It's not an RPG. It's not what they initially promised. And, maybe they'll get it right with Cyberpunk Omicron or whatever the fuck that's called in the next decade or so. Maybe CD Projekt Red will get it right. I don't think that they will fuck up again. I don't think that would be smart of them to do. But with that said, here comes another 10 years, 15 years of waiting for the game that was initially promised, okay? But with that said, if you want a linear shooter, a story-driven linear shooter with this dead, lifeless, empty open world, that's pretty to look at, but it's just a movie set. Literally, that's what Cyberpunk is. The open world is a movie set for the story. It's not. It's there to serve the story. It's not there to say this is a life simulator game. This is a deep RPG. There's no RPG within Cyberpunk. Your choices don't fucking matter. It's all been dissected. So with that said, they fucking fumbled the football. You can like the game. I'm not saying you can't like the game, but let's not pretend like this was some big fucking like. Let's not pretend like this was. Let's not pretend like this wasn't the game that was supposed to redefine the damn genre. The whole damn medium. This Cyberpunk was supposed to be the biggest game. How could they fuck that up? They just came off The Witcher 3. They came off Great Witcher DLC. And how could they fuck that up? Oh, they fucked it up, didn't they? Because they put out a mid-game. That's what they did. I don't think the bugs are the biggest problem with Cyberpunk. I think the fucking game is mid. It's a story game where your choices don't make any impact. And it's a looter shooter. Garbage. That's the worst part about the experience, not the bugs. The fact that it was broken day one was actually the most entertaining fucking part. So I would recommend people to go out and buy Cyberpunk for $5 on PS4 so you can play the actual broken garbage. Because that's more entertaining than the actual game. Once it actually runs well, it's a snooze fest. They just now added car AI literally earlier this year. Do you guys understand? No, you don't. Cyberpunk 2077. 1.5. When the fuck did this come out? Cyberpunk 2077, 1.5, February 2022. It took them that long to add car AI to the fucking game. Do you understand? The game came out on December 10th, 2020. The game came out on December 10th, 2020. Patch 1.5 came out earlier this year. It literally took them, I don't know how long, but way too fucking long, over a year to add car AI. The game did not ship with car AI. Do you understand what that means? That means that the cars were on essentially rail tracks. And you could see that. No one reacted. They just got out of their car because there was no independent car AI. And I'm not going to play GDC out here, Game Developer Conference, but I'm sure you can call a nerd and ask him what went so unequivocally wrong. You have to be fucking kidding me. You're going to shill Cyberpunk because you watched it on Netflix and you're like, oh my God, I love Edge Runners. I love Edge Runners. The game was always trash, and it wasn't because the game was broken day one. That had nothing to do with it. Okay, the game was a linear fucking shooter, Borderlands-esque, and an empty, lifeless open world that had as much depth as a fucking puddle. Okay, you can like it for the stories and the characters, that's fine, but that's not what was promised. That's not what the game was supposed to be. It's not what the game was supposed to be. So, maybe they'll get it right the second time around, but it is the way the cookie crumbled. No, they're not working on it. The game is dead. The game is dead. They're not, it's best for them to move on, in my honest opinion. They need to seal it off and say this is the last Cyberpunk 2077 update. And the Phantom Liberty shit, oh, God. You want to talk about the definition of mid. Oh, we brought back Keanu Reeves because that's what's going to sell that DLC. Yeah, that's great. Alana Pierce. No, not Alana Pierce. Sasha Gray's in it. They got Sasha Gray in it, Jeez. It's always got to be sex sells. Sex sells, doesn't it? Unreal. Sex sells. That's why they. One of the first things I did in Cyberpunk 2077 is I explored the open world and I did that mini game, and I was very disappointed. Very disappointed. It was the same cutscene every time you did it. Okay, well, there goes the replayability. Not even a different camera angle. Not even a different dynamic camera angle system at play. They just couldn't figure that out. You have to be kidding me. There's no creatives anymore left in this industry. You got people that are just, and even if they are creative, they're not going to speak up because they don't want to be afraid of getting fired. They don't want to get fired by the fucking committee because you're going to have to argue your ideas with 5 other people that have the same normie idea. Oh, let's have this jump scare here. Because you know what? That's what's going to sell. That's what's going to work. That's what's going to get the Twitch streamers going crazy, those reactions that we're baiting. Oh, that's great. You've got to be kidding me, bro. You've got to be kidding me. Guys, I need engineers in here right now. We're starting our own game company. We're going to start very small. We're going to make a game in 3 days, okay? We're going to make a game in 3 days. It's going to be a horror game, and I'm going to show you how to do it. It's all about the execution. It's all about the execution. And it's not going to be a jump scare fest, okay? I don't care if the graphics look like they're fucking 2D. It doesn't matter to me because ultimately at the end of the day, I know how to make it work, okay? I know what makes a great game. But no one else seemingly does. You sure hate Cyberpunk, Mike, do you? I don't know what that means. If you don't know my Cyberpunk history, I don't know what to tell you. There's no point in coming in here and talking smack, okay? There's no point in coming in here and talking smack because you don't understand. All right, we're going to ban this guy. It's an alt. Give him a little timeout. Exactly, the modern-day gaming messiah, baby. Woo! Why do you think Dr. Disrespect is making his own game? He's holding back so much when he's playing these games. He wants to say what he really thinks, but he can't. You know, he's got sponsors and all this shit, so you can't disrupt it too much. But he's making his own game for a reason, not just to make money, but to creatively get out there and say, let's do it. Let's do it differently. Let's try anyway to do it differently. And, you know, maybe it will fail, but who fucking knows? Cyberpunk was amazing. Can't wait for the DLC. Well, I thought it was a snooze fest. I mean, you're listening to these characters. They never stop talking. These characters never stop talking. You're going through paragraph after paragraph after paragraph about Johnny Silverhand and how he's a figment of your fucking cybercosis or whatever the fuck. Like, I don't care. You have to get to it. You're reading a damn novel in Cyberpunk. The characters never stop talking. It's like they thought that was the RPG right there. Just have characters talk and talk and talk. We have 15 million lines of dialogue. Oh, that doesn't mean shit. If you can't make real choices that actually have an impact on the damn way the story plays out, there's nothing to the game. There's nothing to the game. Guys, let's admit it. Cyberpunk 2077, it's a linear shooter, okay? It's got strong characters, okay? But that's all it is. That's not what I wanted to play. If I wanted to play Borderlands, believe me, I wouldn't have bought it. I wouldn't have bought it. I wanted an RPG that was as in-depth as fucking, Skyrim or something. Okay? That's what I wanted. That's what I thought we were getting. I didn't want this dumbass looter shooter with like, oh, shit. Yeah, we got strong characters. We got a strong story here. Okay, that's cool, but that's not what I wanted. I wanted something a little bit fucking more. Every NPC is on a day and night schedule, living their lives in Night City. Okay, what happened to that fucking game? Yeah, it didn't exist. I'm done with this shit, guys. If they came out and said, hey, we are making a linear looter shooter, story-driven experience, well, that's a different story. But when they tried to sell us on some big-ass RPG that's going to redefine the whole fucking medium, oh, that's what I wanted, and we didn't get it. So now we're stuck with this like fucking Netflix companion piece. Literally this Netflix Edge Runners companion piece. Like, oh yeah, that's so amazing, right? This Netflix Edge Runners companion piece. You gotta be fucking crazy. That's all it is. The DLC of the Callisto Protocol looks good to me. I thought you were banned. You just came back like that? Huh. Maybe I didn't ban you. I timed you out. Unreal. You need to retry the Witcher 3. We're going to retry the Witcher 3 on when it comes out in December. I'm not playing it until that next gen update launches, and then we can get a full. We can inhale it in a way that makes sense. Okay, so we're gonna retry the Witcher 3. I tried it for 10 minutes, and I said it was even worse than Cyberpunk. I mean, it's just these characters nonstop talk, and the animations look like they're from the fucking PS1 era. They have terrible animators over at CD Projekt Red. How hard is it to animate something? I would love to know. I look at these reload animations in Modern Warfare 2, and everyone's like, oh, this is so good looking. It looks shit. The reload animations in Modern Warfare 2 look fucking terrible. Why wouldn't they just mocap that out? Put the guy in a fucking ball suit and mocap it out. No one's going to know why would you want to keyframe it or hand do it because it looks like shit? They're too snappy. There's no fluid momentum there. It's way too snappy. No one and what needs to happen in Modern Warfare 2 if they want to get super, the new Call of Duty games, they need to have what if the guy doesn't perfectly reload the gun? Let's start bring that into the campaign on like a hard difficulty mode. See, I got creative ideas. They don't want to fuck with those creative ideas, do they? So let's say you put it on veteran difficulty, hardened, whatever the fucking difficulty is in Call of Duty. The highest one, okay, Mile High Club, whatever it's called. The hardest difficulty in Call of Duty on the campaign, story mode, okay? It's going to have impact on the gameplay. You're going to play real life soldier, okay? So as such, he could miss a reload at a crucial point in time. See, these are creative ideas they don't want to implement. These are creative ideas that they don't want to implement. So sad. Or what if the gun jams? What if the gun jams? This is fantasy world. It's a fantasy game. It's a fucking and I'm not asking for simulator, but I think we can do it like Red Dead Redemption 2, where it's like we have sort of realistic elements, but you don't really have to do them because they don't really impact too much. But, with that said, it is an interesting take. They're not implementing those ideas. You're roaming around like a fucking robot soldier in Modern Warfare 2 in the campaign, like, okay, that's not interesting. I've already done that for like 10 years straight. You know what I mean? Let's bring something new to the table. It's total snooze fest. And I'm not talking about multiplayer. That's different. I'm talking about a unique, memorable Call of Duty campaign experience. And we're not getting that. We're not getting that. You're just nitpicking. You don't even understand what you're fucking smoking, bro. How much grass you got over there? How much you smoking it? You're like Snoop Dogg, just smoking that blunt all day and all night. Unreal. Hit the gym. Hit the fucking gym. Unreal. Fallout 3 and New Vegas had gun jams. Really? I don't remember that. Damn. Okay. Well, then it's already been done before. But not really. Because, damn, I didn't remember that. Or the gun overheats, You've never loaded a gun. That is correct. I don't need to load a gun to know how it works. Fucking idiot. You've never streamed before. Okay, there you go. So, whatever, dude. Not gun jams, but they have long reloads if you don't repair them. Well, isn't that what Red Dead 2 does? I don't do the core thing in Red Dead 2. I don't really know what it does. I can still play the game. It doesn't really do anything. Doesn't have really that big of an impact. Stalker also had gun jams. That's crazy, bro. Because that would be interesting. It would just be interesting. And those are some creative ideas. Roasted. Mass Effect guns overheat, really. I'm talking about a new Call of Duty experience that's actually built from the ground up and not this movie fucking, 4-hour experience where it's just forgettable and it's like you already have these ideas of what a Call of Duty experience should be and what you're going to expect. No, I'm talking something built from the ground up. And I'm talking exclusively on like a veteran difficulty mode where it's like you're not playing as you're not playing as this robot soldier. Because that's essentially what you're doing. I'm not asking for a full-blown simulator. I mean, you can play Arma or some shit like that. But, just small little details like that would elevate the experience. Small little details like that would elevate the experience. So many of like in Condemned Criminal Origins, your guns, you have limited ammo or they break. And, then you have to resort to using them with melee. Because, that if you're just an overpowered Superman in these games that you are time and time again, there's no point in playing. And that's the biggest problem with the Callisto Protocol. It's like you're able to dodge every enemy attack from the monsters. You're able to dodge every enemy attack from the monsters, from what I've seen. So how is that scary? How is that terrifying? It's hard to put a clip in wrong. We're not going to argue that here. I have no experience, but it's like anything. If an experienced drummer You're saying it's it's what you're saying is essentially, if I were to compare it to an experienced drummer or an so an experienced guitar player can never drop a pick, right? That's impossible. No, come on, we're not gonna have this conversation. You're telling me Eddie Van Halen never dropped a guitar pick before in his life? Oh, come on. Or never come on, man. We're not gonna have this conversation out here. We're not having this conversation. Glenn Schofield confirmed that there is not. Well, we've already discussed that. Far Cry, Primal 2, Dinosaur Waves, date 2028, they can keep that in the They can keep that on the cutting room floor. Sounds like trash. Dinosaurs and Far Cry. Oh my God, they got to sell that to the fucking the Toys R Us fan base. Holy shit! Oh, we got dinosaurs. We got dinosaurs in fucking Far Cry, so they can make that trailer look so epic. Like, here's T-Rex. It's like fucking Turok now. It's like Turok. You want 6 days of Falaha to come out? Well, that never existed. That doesn't exist. That's all bullshit. Doesn't exist. Have you seen the leaked gameplay footage? I've seen a little bit, but it gets down pretty quick. So there's really nothing to see. But I've seen enough to know you just squeeze through things, and then I've seen something really bad, but you can't share it until the game comes out. So these Zoomers don't know who the fuck Eddie Van Halen. Well, maybe that was a bad example. I mean, I don't really know who's a good guitar player. Jimi Hendrix. I mean, I don't know. It was leaked that the Dead Space remake has I don't know what you're talking about. So you can play this game Thursday at 9 p.m. I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe. Oh, you're talking about the review embargo. Well, I mean, maybe. Maybe they're unlocking it early, so you can play it before the reviews are out. Maybe 1 hour early, I guess. I don't know if my math is correct. You really don't think this game looks incredible? I mean, not especially, but maybe I'm too jaded to see what you guys see in it. I'd love to be a gamer that got excited about nothing, essentially. I mean, Dimeback Daryl, yeah. Sleeping Dogs did that unlike these games. You're just a troll, dude. You're just another troll. Let's go. Is the chat dying out here? You guys, you just can't. I can play Warzone 2 all day. It's so fun. I mean, I mean, it's fun here and there. I couldn't play it every day though. Hell no. That shit I'd get so burnt down on that. If I played it every day, every day, no. I mean, maybe every once in a while, sure, but not every day. It's the same thing over and over again. I mean, you jump off the plane, you get into your little groove, and I think they need to expand Warzone, but that's going to take them another 10 years to do that. Because really, when you think about it, if they have an engine that is working, why would they disrupt that? You know what I mean? If they have an engine and they know everything works within that engine for the most part, you kind of have to just keep it the same. You start throwing in these crazy new mechanics and crazy new ideas, it'll probably break everything. So then it just adds more time to the cycle. to the dev cycle. I mean, I'm assuming that's how it works. I'm not a game dev, but it's not as easy as cut and paste. And if it is, then well, there's a lot of lazy millennial devs out there. Well, it's time for the bots to come in here now. It looks like we're just having bot conversations in here. The engine doesn't work. It's completely hacked. Well, there's no way they can fix it. They would have to go underneath the hood. It would be like trying to fix an engine. If you take your car to the mechanic and the engine is totally fucked, I mean, do you understand how complex an engine is? I mean, I don't even know you start pulling the car apart and there's a million pieces. It's literally like a car. You fix one thing over here and then all of a sudden it starts breaking something else. It's a never-ending fucking well, I guess we just have to say, it's the best we could do. It's spaghetti. It's spaghetti. You pull the spaghetti string out of the rest of the pile of spaghetti and it disrupts the other piles, so then it starts fucking with shit. An engine has pistons. Well, it has more than that. Dunvo is extremely dumb. Well, don't they have it on Resident Evil 2 Remake and everyone showed that? They're like, oh, no problem, Capcom. No problem, Capcom. I mean, I don't really care about the Dunvo thing, but I just brought it up because I know people do. Before the leaks, considering Last of Us Part 2 is trash, after leaks revealed Michael changed his mind on The Last of Us Part 2 is a great game because I saw the execution. Yeah, I was pissed off like everyone else, but I said, you know what? It worked because now I'm really pissed. I'm playing as Ellie and I want revenge on Abby. So it literally worked. Yeah, I thought that was terrible. When I saw the leaks, I'm like, holy shit, Joel got his brains bashed in. It doesn't make any sense. Terrible plot hole. Why would Joel go into with those strangers into a cabin during the snowstorm? He walks in alone. Like, it makes no sense. But, again, it's like that guitar analogy. Eddie Van Halen fumbled the football on those picks a few times, right? Okay, maybe Joel wasn't on his best day that day. Not everyone's perfect. So I think it showed a vulnerability side of Joel that we've never seen before, and it made him more human. So I think it's incredible writing. I think The Last of Us 2 is one of the most perfect games ever assembled. And I'm not trolling out here. Where am I? You're gonna be secretly playing this day one. Well, they literally took my video down, so I kind of don't really want to give them my hard-earned money. But if we still have to cover it, so not sure really how else we can do it. But if we do get it early, I'll definitely see if we can get this early because the review embargo is not up until Friday, Thursday, whenever, till the game releases. I didn't even get to the part where you play as the kid, as the son. I didn't get to that. I didn't get that far. The game's trash. The game's total garbage. The Blair Witch. It was a snooze fest. It was just boring. It's like they watched the movie one time and they're like, oh yeah, because the characters allude to them they can't find their way out. The characters in the original Blair Witch, they can't find their way out. It's heavily implied that the witch or whoever, there's some fucking. The movie is the original Blair Witch works off your imagination and what you can formulate up there in that head. Because you don't see anything in the original Blair Witch, and that's what made it so successful. But in the fucking game, you're like crushing the Blair Witch symbol sticks, and it's like, what do we like? And I'm sure it gets even stupider too. No, I'm not going to be playing. I'm not going to be playing. Well, you certainly don't. I'm not going to get into that conversation either. I'm not going to get into that conversation either because if you're going to single me out and say, I'm not going to get into that, but if you're going to single me out, you're just demeaning and harassing at this point because there's literally everyone. I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to get into it. Get camping, laugh my ass off. I don't camp, my dude. I move, not a pussy. I don't know what you guys are talking about. This isn't your personal chat room, okay? If you're not going to keep it on track somewhat, then we're going to get you out. We're going to end the show anyway because the battery's dying here soon. Blair Witch is a great game if you need to go to bed. Well, I mean, it takes a while to get going, and they got some like they got some underground Civil War thing. Like I can't imagine once you get inside there, it's just going to get really dumb. It's going to get really dumb. What was the reason behind removing the? I didn't remove it. They literally took it down. I did not remove the video. It literally got taken down by the publisher of the game. It literally got taken down by them. I did not remove the video. I'm not sure why you would think I would do that. It got removed by the publisher or whoever. The third party, I don't know who, but it was someone associated with the game. But I didn't remove the video. I didn't remove the video. A house lands on the witch and you have to take her shoes. I don't know what that means. That sounds terrible. The Blair Witch is a fantastic game. No one cares, dude. You got a problem. Callisto Protocol will be the best game ever made. That's great. Go out and buy it. Was someone in here shilling Call of Duty? Like, no one cares about Call of Duty. It was fun for like 1 week. What's the scariest horror game you've played? Oh, man. Scariest horror game. Well, most of them really aren't that scary, to be honest with you. But, you know, some games have some moments where it's like, that's kind of creepy. I think I think PT had some moments going for it, but because you didn't know what the fuck it was. It's just a weird fucking thing, you know. I don't know. Most games aren't really scary though. It's a bunch of jump scares. I need a game that like starts thinking about what the player's doing, and you know, we need a game that I'm not. If you want to have a discussion in here, a game developer conference discussion here, we can do that. But we're not doing it out here. He won't play Warzone. Well, no one shows up when we play Warzone, so no one shows up. I'm not saying we won't, but why is the review embargo so late? Dying Light 2 wasn't even that late. Well, yeah. Tell me about it, bro. Tell me about it, bro. Dead Space or Callisto? Probably Dead Space. If they're both the same game, probably the Dead Space remake. That's your opinion. It certainly is my opinion, and you're here watching me, so I don't know what to tell you. The Evil Within was creepy. I don't know about that. All right, we're going to ban this guy here. Too many whack jobs in here. Play Amnesia: The Dark Descent. There was one game that I played that had this interesting mechanic. Not weird, but this interesting mechanic. There was one game that I can't. It's I think it's PC only. It came out a long time ago, but it had this like shit, I don't even remember what it had. But like you were in this like fuck me, man. It's not Amnesia, but it's something sort of similar. It has an interesting mechanic. It's either you can freeze to death, or I can't even remember what it was. But it was an interesting mechanic. Dead Space remake will be soulless. No, if you don't like Dead Space 1, you're not going to like Dead Space remake. They're not going to bash into the walls too much with that because they can't afford to. What do you think about Outlast? It's a snooze. It's a snooze. You need to buy Outlast Trials. The game does not exist. The game does not exist. Soma. No, it's not Soma. It's not Soma. That's trash. That's overrated Twitch streamer garbage. No. It's not Amnesia. It's another one. I think it starts with a P. I can't remember what it was called. It's only on PC. It came out like 2010, 2009, 2008. It's an older game. I think it has this like you can freeze in the cold weather or some shit. I don't know. Maybe not. I remember watching someone play and like, that's actually an interesting mechanic. The article on the top was moved from IGN for clickbait, blatantly false trash about death animations. That's not true. That's not an IGN article, you dumbass. That's literally not an IGN article. That is from, I believe, VGC. But that's not IGN. Callisto getting banned in Japan made me, so it's an old game, snooze. All right, we're going to ban you too. I'm tired of it. You're just the same dude with 500 alts. Getting you out of here. What is a review embargo? No, I don't like The Last of Us Part 1. And I bought the remake. I thought the remake was sufficient, but the game itself just isn't really that interesting to me. It's pretty bland. It's a pretty bland game. Worried about the Silent Hill 2 remake? Well, Silent Hill is dead. Silent Hill 2 is dead. I mean, we just played The Witcher. I mean, we just played the Blair Witch last night. We played the Blair Witch last night, and it's from the same people that are doing the Silent Hill 2 remake. It's going to be a snooze fest. It's going to be a snooze fest. Fatal Frame. Yeah, I played Fatal Frame back on the PS2 games. I'll pay full price for the Thing remake. That's what we're talking about. I mean, just interesting mechanics like that. Someone in here was like saying that game's trash, and it's like, well, it's a movie game in the PS2 era, so it's not going to be that fucking good. But, you know, on paper, it had an interesting mechanic that obviously, you know, borrowed from the source material. But, you know, just things like that would flip the damn fucking script on its head would be interesting for once. But just playing these games where you're essentially Superman in different clothing is stupid. Like, I don't want to play a game where I'm the super soldier, the superhuman that can just... You have to have the player feel vulnerable in a horror game. And when you have all of these abilities and these maneuvers, it just loses its appeal. It loses its appeal. Eternal Dark. No one has mentioned the game. I think it starts with a P. Something Phobia. And no, never mind. I'm thinking of something. I don't know. It's an old school PC game. I mean, that's not old school, but it's definitely old now, or older now. But it was sort of like Amnesia, but it had an interesting mechanic behind it. Someone in here knows what I'm talking about, but I can't remember what the interesting mechanic was. I think it was something to do with freezing to death, or maybe it was nightmares. I don't know what it was, but it obviously, I remember it. We got 10% left on the battery, folks. 10% left on the battery here for today. Cry of Fear. No, I don't think I've played that. Maybe I have. There it is. Right there. No, someone got it. Someone got it right there. Penmobra. I don't know. I think that's it. What does that game bring to the table? How do I type this in? No, we're not. Penumbra. Maybe it doesn't do anything new, but I remember that game. Penumbra. Medical company. This might be it. 2007, that sounds right. Okay, let's see what this game does. A survival horror video game. Let's go to the Wikipedia. Let's see what the premise is of this. Maybe it's not good. I don't know. It's a survival horror, psychological horror, adventure. The use of physics engine emphasizes physics-based puzzles as well as physics-based combat. The game also takes advantage of advanced artificial intelligence to respond realistically to noises and light, creating stealth-based gameplay. There are no firearms in the game. Well, that's why I like it right there. There's no fucking guns in the game because that shit gets old. So during the combat, the player is limited to improvise melee hammer or pickaxe, throwing objects or attacking creatures. The game is designed to emphasize stealth and avoidance of direct conflict. Okay, but the game focuses exploration on classic adventure and object interaction, examining, collecting objects. So there's no. Maybe the sequel is what the Requiem. When did this come out? 2008. Maybe this is. Let's see what this has. Is it expansion? Is it good or not? Or am I thinking maybe that's not the game? But I think that's what it is. Is it good or not? It wasn't. It was your sanity. Okay, so it had the sanity gimmick. Okay. Well, I just like games that make the player feel vulnerable, especially survival horror games like that. You have to stop making these Superman games. That's what you have to stop doing. Superman games. I love this show. That's what we love to hear. But you have to stop making these Superman games. You need to play better games. Well, I'm not going to go out and buy every fucking game under the sun. So if you want to add me on Steam and start gifting games, that's one way to support the show. I mean, Unless it's on Game Pass or something like that, I'm not going to go out and buy every fucking game known to man. But if you want to gift a game, we'll credit you and say thank you so kindly and this, that, and the third. Is that what he said when Dying Light 2? Well, I was right about Dying Light 2. It fell off, didn't it? You should stop reviewing AAA games and focus on indie games. Indie games are not great, especially indie games of today. It's the same old side scroller. The conclusion of Michael is trash game like Last of Us 2, but a masterpiece like it. We're not going to, whatever it is. It's a Black Plague. It's the Black Plague. How many did they make? Yeah, I already read. Okay, this is it. It has the insanity meter. Is it good or not? It's a survival horror game, first-person perspective. The survival horror game mostly avoiding various enemies which seek to injure or otherwise harm the protagonist. Compared to the previous game, the combat has been heavily de-emphasized, with the player no longer able to make weapons or make craft tight enemies. Instead, the emphasis on the use of stealth tactics. Did we just read this? I think this is it, but there might be another one. We're not talking. Why do horror games have season passes? Well, they want to extend the life shelf. Well, the old game runs on Windows 2000? I don't know about that. Probably does. I mean, it came out in 2008. It's developed by Fictional Games. They probably don't exist, do they? Sweden. Oh, so they did do the Amnesia. So this was before Amnesia. Okay. Maybe that's still not the game that I'm thinking of, but I think that's what it is. We might have to play it. I don't know. Is it good or not? Jesus Christ, let me know. You can't just keep mentioning the game. I'm not big on Amnesia games, though. I'll tell you that. I'm not big on the Amnesia games. That's normie stuff. I'll send you a Steam game to play that is better. Okay, well, make sure you find the right profile and add the right Michael Does Life. Because apparently it's hard to find me on Steam. So, have you played Amnesia? I think I have the Amnesia games, but I don't. No, I'm tired of having, I can't keep having this conversation. The battery's literally going to die. We are literally at 6%. The battery's going to die. The battery's going to, at least the Blair Witch doesn't have, you don't have weapons in the Blair Witch. Exactly. I'm done with the mindless gore and violence. Okay? It is ruining society. People are going crazy. These games are influencing people, and if they're not right in the head, it's just not a good combination. It's not a good mix. Boring game. No one cares, dude. You made the ult in 2 seconds. Damn. Guys, we got to end the show. Okay, the battery is literally dying. 5%. It's cold out here, so it's affecting the battery life. But we've been live for 2 hours out here. And look, like I said, hopefully the game is great, the Callisto Protocol, but, I don't know how to keep reiterating myself out here. Well, it's like at the bar, last call. The bar is closing, okay? Last call. That's what this is. The battery's literally dying. There's nothing I can do to prevent that unless we brought out the extender, which there's not enough USB ports on this damn thing to do that even so. Got to bring fucking... Start recommending survival horror games that are interesting. I know there's some other PC games that are probably like exclusive to PC, and they don't have to be recent. I don't care if it has shit graphics. I mean, if it has interesting mechanics and core gameplay loop, then I'll fucking play it. I'm tired of these games where you're playing Superman. Super Soldier, Superman, super fucking, it's just like every game is Lara Croft. She can just, she can fight 100 soldiers and 100 fucking, it's just ridiculous. Don't leave. The battery is literally dying. The battery is literally dying. I'm not making that up. Literally, the battery is dying. Just because you can't see it on the screen doesn't mean it isn't fucking dying, okay? The battery is literally dying, dude. That's how you're going to start getting timed out. Okay? It's not an excuse. I'd stay out here all night if we had a reason to, but we don't have a reason to. We like this limitation built in because it. Don't Starve is a great survival horror game. I mean, I played a little bit of it. Fatal Frame, yeah, the original Fatal Frame is probably good. Don't Starve, I played Don't Starve, but I mean, I don't like those games where you start off bare naked and then you got to work that's not what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for those games where you have to start from scratch and then build your character up and all this other shit. You know, we need something that has a little bit of a kick to it. Red Dead 2 needs more story DLC. No one cares. You should play Five Nights at Freddy. I played the new one, The Security Breach. It's actually pretty good. Better than Alien Isolation. Literally better than Alien Isolation. I'm not even joking. I had more fun with that than Alien Isolation. I think the new one's good. The Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. It's actually pretty good. I'm not even joking. Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. I thought that, we might actually just start playing that later tonight. Fuck it, baby. Let's go. Fuck God of War, fuck Callisto Protocol. You know what? At the end of the day, we might just have to start playing Five Nights at Freddy's. It was on sale on Black Friday, baby. I'm going to pick up that physical copy. But I already got it on PC, so I think I do. Play Obscure 2. Never heard of it. Plug in the charger to the tree. Well, you can bring an external battery out here, but usually there's no point. We've already peaked on numbers, and, it's best to just cap things off, in a timely way. Silent Hill Homecoming. Don't know if I played that one. I think I don't know if that brings anything new to the table, though. Shattered Memories is a lot more interesting. Have you played Hello Neighbor? Yes, it's a snooze. There's a new one coming out, though. No, Five Nights at Freddy is great. I'm talking about the new one, not the old one. The old one, it's a point-and-click thing, which is stupid. It's a point-and-click jump scare. The new one is just an Alien Isolation knockoff, essentially, but it's actually better. Freddy Got Fingered. Play Pathologic. I don't know. I've never heard of those games. They might be good. So you're going to have to start. Silent Hill 2 coming home to PS5. Yeah, I don't play jump scare simulators. Guys, we got to go. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, tagging along, supporting the show, and that's going to do it. It's over.